Good evening. I would like to call to order the Planning Commission meeting for June 17th, 2024. For viewers watching at home, some members of the public may be participating via video conference or telephone conference. Would everybody please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Ms. Gore, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Ferris?
Here.
Commissioner Tyler Kettlehut?
Here.
Commissioner McMahon?
Here.
Vice Chair Link is absent. Chair Lanson?
Here. And just for all of those in the audience, this is one of our favorite meetings of the year because we get to dress casually. So even though we're looking nice and casual, please understand we'll still give the exact same effort with regard to the application process. Tonight, we have with us Deputy Community Development Director Fabiola Melliker. Are there any written comments, announcements, or continuances?
No, there's no continuances. There was a supplemental packet from written correspondence that had been received for item 7A. Should be noted that when it was posted, the supplemental packet stated it was for item 6A, but it's actually 7A. So I just want to note that correction. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, number 5 is public comment. Ms. Gore, do we have any general public comment?
We do not.
We will skip that one and go to 6, which is the consent calendar. We have the consent calendar, which includes the minutes from the May 6, 2024 Planning Commission meeting. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any comments or a motion with regard to the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
No other comments? Please prepare us for a vote.
Commissioner Ferris?
Yes.
Commissioner Tyler Kettlehut?
Yes.
Commissioner McMahon?
Yes.
Chair Lanson?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Vice Chair Link absent.
And now we will get to item 7A, which is the public hearing. Ms. Gore, would you please open the public hearing?
Hearing having been advertised as required by law is hereby open to consider agenda item 7A, Development Permit DP 2023-70021, Major Modification, Special Use Permit SUP 2023-70018, Minor Modification and Protected Tree Permit PTP 2024-70020, and find that the project is categorically exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act CEQA guidelines pursuant to Section 15301 and 15303, located at 880 Southwest Lake Boulevard. The applicant is Pavel Getov for Studio and Terrace Incorporated and Derek Reynolds, Truck Stop Holdings, and David Berlinger, Truck Stop Holdings, LLC.
There we go. Everybody's included. Thanks for that. So presenting on behalf of the staff is Ms. Georgiev.
Good evening, Planning Commissioners and members of the public. Can you hear me okay? The presentation before you is a request to construct an outdoor venue on a parcel which is located at 880 South Westlake Boulevard. The applicant's request is that the Planning Commission adopt a resolution finding the project exempt from CEQA and to approve the applications that were just mentioned for a development permit, special use permit, and a protected tree permit. The project site is located on the north portion of the parcel, APN 693-0130-315, and it's separated from the Hyatt Hotel by Village Glen Road. The designated site includes 41,500 square feet of the 10.63 acre parcel. Currently, the area is developed as a parking lot with 86 parking spaces. There are 2 protected oak trees, which are located at the entrance of the site, as well as a utility and a sewer easement. The proposed project site and current parking lot is below the elevation of the perimeters of the property. The basin area is a natural visual buffer from the adjacent Westlake Boulevard and the southbound 101 entrance ramp. The proposed project site is located on the same parcel as the Hyatt Hotel, which has current entitlements for both a development permit as well as a special use permit. The application is for a major modification to the existing development permit and a minor modification to the special use permit. The application for the major modification to the development permit is for the removal of 86 parking spaces to create an outdoor venue with 2 bars, a stage, portable restrooms, and space for 3 food trucks. That's during the operational hours. Additional temporary structures include pop-up tents for vendor stations and outdoor games such as ping pong and cornhole. The 2 bars are to be constructed from modified shipping containers, and they will also serve light food as well as beer and wine. The portable restroom trailers include ADA accessibility. In this site plan, you can see the entrance, which is on the right side, which is in between the 2 prominent oak trees on the site. Walking into the venue, to the right, there is a trash enclosure, and there's spots for the 3 food trucks. To the left side, or the south side of the entrance to the area, that is a spot for retail pop-up shops, and then a shaded area for outdoor games. One of the bars is located in the very center of the project site with ample seating surrounding it. And to the rear of the property, adjacent to Westlake Boulevard and the 101 southbound entrance ramp, is the stage, the second bar, and the restroom trailers. A minor modification to a special use permit is requested to allow for the sale and consumption of alcohol and for live music at the venue. A Type 41 alcohol license has been applied for with the California Department of Alcohol Beverage Control. Both the music and alcohol sales will be limited to the operational hours that are listed on this slide. As depicted in this slide, there are 2 oak trees of substantial size, which are located at the entrance of the project site. An arborist report was submitted with a protected tree permit, which is to include trimming of the 2 trees and fencing protection plan during the construction phase of the project. The project site is located on a parcel which is zoned C4. The proposed project meets all of the development standards, as well as the conditions and limitations for the C4 zone, which is detailed in the Municipal Code, Section 9-4.1500, excluding the setback distance for the side yard corner. A waiver is requested to allow for a 78-foot setback distance from the center line of the 101 southbound on-ramp, as otherwise required to be 100 feet, according to the Municipal Code, Section 9-4.1504. Staff supports this waiver as there is only one structure that does not meet the setback requirements, which is the repurposed truck bed for use of a stage and can be moved. As you can see from this slide, the proposed stage is to be constructed by repurposing the truck bed and includes the wheels still attached. Please note that this picture that you see includes a sign that is depicted. However, this is not part of this proposal, and a separate sign permit will be required as detailed in the conditions of approval. This project is consistent with the goals and policies that are listed on this slide. The project is a commercial use within a commercial area. It's located within a district that has other commercial uses and is on a site that is accessible by multimodal transportation, including bicycles and pedestrians. The project rethinks an underutilized parking lot to create a public gathering space that will attract local residents, hotel guests, as well as employees at neighboring businesses. The application includes ADA accessibility, bicycle racks, and pedestrian connectivity from Westlake Boulevard. As was discussed in the staff report, the parking assessment for this project includes a separate project proposal for an addition to the Hyatt Hotel. That project is currently on hold and not part of this scope of work today. However, staff did request that the applicants prepare a parking study that included both projects in the parking analysis. This table of this slide illustrates the parking requirements as required in section 9-4.2402 of the municipal code. And as you can see for the drop project, the total spaces required are 272. As just mentioned, the parking analysis also includes the potential expansion for the hotel. The potential parking loss for both projects is 137 surface parking spaces. If both projects are approved, the municipal code requires a total of 1,352 parking spaces. As depicted with the red dashed lines in the picture on the slide, there is an existing shared parking agreement with the commercial complex. This agreement includes a total of 1,059 additional parking spaces. With this shared parking agreement, the parking provided exceeds the requirement by 88 parking spots. Although the municipal code parking calculations indicate a potential deficiency of parking spaces for the project site, following implementation of the project, the actual parking demand generated by this project, as well as the mixed-use nature of uses at the site, indicate an actual parking need that is significantly below the municipal code requirements. A parking demand analysis was prepared that looked at the parking demand during peak times, which is illustrated to be Saturdays at 9:00 p.m., where 513 spaces would be needed to meet the demand. During this time, only 132 of the parking surplus supply would be needed, which is just 12.5% of the adjacent office park's parking supply. City staff has evaluated the project in terms of compatibility with the surrounding area and concludes that the project proposal will not have any detrimental impacts on the surrounding area. Overall, the proposed project has been designed to meet the intent of the city's standards, codes, and policies. City staff supports the requested modification since the proposed structure is movable and located at a lower elevation from the highway ramp. Based on the analysis and findings contained in this report, staff recommends approval of this project, subject to the conditions of approval that are in the attached resolution. It is staff's recommendation to find that the project is categorically exempt pursuant to sections 15301, existing facilities, and section 15303, new construction or conversion of small structures, and approve a development permit to allow the elimination of 86 parking spaces for the development of an outdoor venue, including the modification for the setback distance in the corner. Approve a special use permit to allow the sale and consumption of alcohol and live entertainment within operational hours, and approve a protected tree permit to allow the pruning of 2 oak trees at the entrance of the project site. I just want to add a couple. Can you still hear me? Okay. So you received the supplemental packet. I did want to add a couple more things. Sorry for the inconvenience. We do want to remove condition number 28, as it is redundant for another condition that we have, which is number 107. And also a little correction on condition of approval number 35. It is referencing an incorrect resolution number. The correct resolution number is 2010-14.
Can I have you say those one more time, because we were all flicking really quickly? What's the 2 things you're trying to change?
No problem. So the removal of condition number 28, as that one is redundant for another condition, which is number 107. And then on condition of approval number 35, we want to correct the resolution number, which is 2010-14. And staff is available for any questions.
Thank you, thank you. Commissioners, questions? Seeing a whole bunch of shaking heads, I'm assuming there's no questions. I'm going to ask a very basic question, and I'm sorry if this is going to come out strange. The name is Drop Yard. What does that signify? What's that name mean?
I may relay that question to the applicants. I think that they've got a story to tell about how they kind of came up with the concept, and they're going to present after this, and I'm sure they'll tell you about it.
Okay. While I was there, obviously it's in an area that's close by freeways. I'm assuming there's already an elevated area. Is there any additional protections being done, and this may be a question for the applicant, to make sure people don't climb up the hill and go onto the freeway?
I will relay that question to the applicants. I do know that they're going to install a fence, but.
Okay,
Yeah.
We'll have other questions then for the applicant. So any other questions for the staff? Okay, so let's go to the applicant, which I believe is going to be David Berlinger, and you'll have 15 minutes for you and your team.
Great, thank you. Angela, great job in explaining the project. Thank you for your time today. I've been in this community for 30-plus years, and I'm real excited to bring this project to Thousand Oaks. I want to tell you how we saw something similar in Seaside in Florida. Derek and I, that's my partner, were vacationing in Florida with our families, and we saw something similar. And we saw families running around, dogs, live music. Everybody was just excited to be there. There was great food, great energy, and I'm so excited to bring this to you guys. As far as the drop yard is concerned, the name, how we came up with that, originally it was called the truck stop, and the truck stop was taken. So Derek and I put our heads together. The term drop yard is where trucks drop off their goods. So that's how we came up with the name, the drop yard. Bringing this to this community of Thousand Oaks is special to me because we're going to do a lot of great entertainment, a lot of community things that Derek is going to talk about, because I certainly don't want to take all the time. But it is community-based, family-based, family-friendly project that we're excited to bring to Thousand Oaks. So with that, I'm going to bring my partner up. He's going to talk about certain things that we're doing at the project, and then we'll introduce David McGovern from the Hyatt.
One thing, and I forgot to unfortunately say it before you spoke, just please say your name and obviously your city of residence.
David Berlinger, Thousand Oaks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Good evening, Commissioners. Derek Reynolds, I'm a resident of Thousand Oaks. Angela, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. It was interesting when David and I were in Seaside and we saw it. And initially, what we said was probably pretty selfish in the sense like, God, I want someplace like this to hang out, right? Like, I wish we had this. Like, I want to go someplace with my family, have the kids run around, and it'll be fantastic. And so, but throughout the journey of getting to where we are today, there were other things that really kind of popped up on the radar that really struck a chord with us. I mean, first, I think, is the ability to reuse space that otherwise is not being used and to use that space for the benefit of the community. And outside of just community members that can go there and recreate and enjoy themselves, as we talk to many individuals within the community, and specifically the business community, we realized how much of an asset it would be for businesses within the community. And so one of the things that we did, that we changed our initial plans, was to put our kiosks in there where local businesses could come there on the weekends and do business out of the kiosks. And we also realized within this journey that there's an opportunity to host events on days that we're closed. So a lot of the businesses aren't able to find a large enough space for them to host their employees. And so now we have a very large space that's going to be able to accommodate those individual requests. So, what started out and still remains a very community-focused, family-focused, pet-focused, area to recreate and enjoy has really kind of expanded to do other things. And I think that's something that we're all really proud of. And so someone I think that can also be able to speak about the benefits to the business sector is David McGovern.
Good evening, everybody. David McGovern, Director of Sales and Marketing at the Hyatt Regency Westlake, and I live in Thousand Oaks. I've been at the Hotel Hyatt Westlake for about 9 months now. I was a bellman valet at that very property about 10 years ago, believe it or not, for a very full circle story. And every time that I drove into this yard, into the hotel, I saw this vacant lot. And for the longest time, I said, okay, we got to do something in that, because back in the day, I was running cars for mitzvahs and weddings on property. And now to see that I've been introduced to both David and Derek, and there's opportunities to really bring in Drop Yard to this community and not only the hotel is fascinating, very exciting. So as a key stakeholder in the vibrant hospitality sector of Conejo Valley, the Hyatt is thrilled to express our support for the Drop Yard project. This innovative outdoor venue space promises to bring a wealth of diverse events and job opportunities to Conejo Valley, significantly enhancing our community's appeal and economic vitality. Drop Yard is poised to become an expansive outdoor venue in the region, a cornerstone of local tourism, fostering a dynamic environment that will benefit the entire community. The opportunities that Drop Yard had mentioned are absolutely endless, and it's really a catalyst to craft something new and truly innovative to revitalize the area. And they did mention that it is family-friendly and pet-friendly and featuring a wide variety of activities to cater all ages and interests. But something that really struck a chord with me is the versatility and the diversity within this actual space, from live music, outdoor yoga sessions, a farmer's market, local vendor showcases, line dancing, movie nights. Drop Yard is set to become a hub of excitement and community engagement. These diverse offerings will not only provide entertainment, but also create a sense of place that we're all longing for in this area, and a platform for local business and artists to thrive. Given its close proximity to the Hyatt Westlake, we are particularly excited about leveraging Drop Yard as a major draw for both leisure travelers, group-related business, and local catering events. These can span from welcome receptions to galas, experiential activations, and workshops. This development has the potential to elevate tourism as a whole within Conejo Valley, providing a new, fun, and lively area in our very own backyard. Moreover, Drop Yard's multi-layered approach will serve as a spark for stimulating excitement and economic growth, especially as we navigate towards the larger vision of the campus plan. Projects like Drop Yard are essential in investing within and fostering a vibrant, connected, and prosperous community. We urge the Planning Commission to support the Drop Yard project, recognizing its potential to elevate the quality of life in Conejo Valley and position our region as a reinvigorated destination for both residents and visitors. This initiative is more than just a public space. It is a vital step towards building a dynamic future for our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other part of your team, Mr. Berlinger? Okay. So that will go to Commissioner questions. Commissioner Kaelhut?
I'm not sure to whom I should be directing this, so just jump up whoever wants to deal with this. So what is the percentage of private, or do you anticipate, again, you don't know what's going to come to you, but what do you anticipate in terms of being the percentage of private versus public events?
Currently, what we've planned is that Monday and Tuesday will essentially be set aside for private events.
Okay.
Tuesday through Sunday will be open to the public.
Okay. And how many people do you think your events will accommodate approximately? That space?
I think I don't have the final number off the top of my head. I think it's,
What are we
I
looking
can answer
at?
that.
Yeah.
I think it's 932, I believe.
Okay. And also a question, so local businesses can rent this space? This is when you're doing private events, local businesses could be renting and utilizing that space also?
yeah, so we'll have 5, currently what they're planned to be is 10-foot by 10-foot containers, right? And we'll have 5 of them there. So local businesses will be able to rent out a container during the weekend for a month, right? It's something that really will allow the local vendors to kind of dictate what works for them. But yeah, we want to be able to have local community vendors be able to come in there and provide some access to what their shops and wares are.
Okay. This reminds me a lot of Tin City up in Paso Robles, very, very much what they've done up there,
Yeah.
and that revitalized that industrial area. Thank you.
Exactly.
I appreciate it.
Any other questions? Commissioner Ferris?
Thank you. These are pretty simple. I think they were all on the plans, but I figured I may as well just ask you. Is there like a fence that is enclosing the space in general?
Yeah, we will be constructing a fence that's, in order to secure the 41 liquor license, we'll have to have a requisite fence that's going to surround the entire property.
Is it like bars or are they as like closed?
Right now, what we're contemplating is, it's a 6-foot, kind of a cedar, I don't know how to describe the metal grating that you see in between it, so that's what it is currently planned to be.
Okay. And then there are gates for entry and exit
Yeah.
on various sides. If I saw it right, correct me if I'm mistaken on it, on the west side, which is where where, was it Westlake Boulevard? There's one pedestrian entry point that's when the gates are open, is that right?
Well, there'll be 3 exits, so the primary entrance and egress will be through the main, but.
Two on the east and one on the west, is that where?
Yes,
Okay. And those would be closed off then during? office
Correct.
hours? Okay, great. That was it. Thanks.
thank you.
And my only question, just to make sure, in light of some of the changes, are you agreeable to all of the, requirements and conditions as part of the application?
Yes,
Okay. I don't think I have any further questions, so thank you.
thank you.
At that point, we'll go to public comment. I believe we have one card from Daniel Borgia. And I believe you have 5 minutes.
I won't need it. Good evening, Chair Lansing and Commissioners. Danielle Borgia, President and CEO of the Greater Conejo Valley Chamber of Commerce. We represent over 40,000 jobs in the region, and we are here tonight to speak in support of the Drop Yard project. I think one of the really unique things about this project is that it's going to appeal to a wide variety of audiences. You know, families in our community, they're really craving a community hub, a space that they can gather and enjoy the company of their friends and family without trying to keep their kids at a table at a restaurant. I don't know if many of you remember those days, but I am in the midst of them with my 3 kids, and the opportunity for them to enjoy oversized games and, run around with their friends while the parents are enjoying, some local food and beverage is really appealing to people in our community. I was just at a Girl Scout camp out this weekend and shared this upcoming hearing, and there was much excitement around the fireplace. I think it's also going to really benefit tourism, which McGovern, our second David, was alluding to. We have so many visitors, over 2,000 hotel rooms just between Thousand Oaks and Agora. So we have so many visitors staying in our area. They're looking for really unique experiences, and I think this will be a great draw in regards to tourism for our visitors in our local community. And then there's community groups. So when you think about the sports teams and the school groups and the nonprofit events that need to take place, this is a really easy turnkey location that they can utilize for those kind of larger groups that are, 20 to 30 people. It's really, challenging to carve out a space in a restaurant to accommodate that when you want to go out after a game or an event and things of that nature. And then having the opportunity to host larger private events, it's really challenging. We know from the chamber side, when you get over 300 people, there's not a lot of options in Thousand Oaks and even in the region when you get to those numbers. And so providing that setting and also an outdoor setting that people are really attracted to at this moment, I think is going to bode really well in the private event space. And the developers being local, I think, is going to add a whole other, element to this project. We've already been in discussions with them, giving them ideas about potential collaborations and things that they can do to activate the space. And they're really looking to bring in and highlight local entertainment through partnerships in that way. And that kind of elevates the arts in our community as well. And will provide some opportunities for local artists that they might not otherwise have. And so I really believe that that Derek and David are going to be really good community partners in that way and be able to fold in our businesses to benefit them and also the Drop Yard project itself. And so our board stands in full support and really believes that it merits your approval this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. At this point, we'll go back to staff if they have any further comments. It usually would be rebuttal, but I'm assuming that would
I don't
not
have
be.
any further comments, thanks.
Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing and open in the floor to commissioners for comments or a motion. Not everybody at once. Commissioner Ferris?
If no one's going to jump in, I'll jump in. I think this is a really phenomenal project. I think that over the course of this past several years, the community's engaged with how we can re-envision, how the city continues to evolve and some of the projects we have, for example, is having food trucks in there as a part of the venue. Decades ago, there really weren't, with the exception of maybe ice cream trucks or something, there weren't any, certainly gourmet food trucks, right? So getting the opportunities to be able to re-envision that as part of, the ongoing, vibrancy of the community and making that part of what we have, to rethink a non-utilized overflow parking lot that can help with the overall community, I think is a really great idea. I think it's extremely, and also consistent with the well-planned nature of how we have all of our codes and the discerned evaluation of it so that we can take a look at it and provide the right permitting for it. So if there's no, I'll just go ahead and kick this off, but to make a motion that we adopt a resolution based on the findings and subject to the conditions contained therein, to find that the project is categorically exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act, guidelines pursuant to Class 1, Section 15301, existing facilities, and Class 3, Section 15303, new construction or conversion of small structures, and approve a development permit, DP 2023-70021, to allow the elimination of 86 parking spaces for the development of an outdoor venue, and approve a special use permit, SUP-2023-70018, to allow the sale and consumption of alcohol and live entertainment within operational hours, and approve a protected tree permit, PTP-2024-70020, to allow the pruning of 2 oak trees at the entrance of the project site, containing the revised conditions in the supplemental packet 1, and provided to the commission at the end of the staff report. Did I do that okay?
Do we need reference to the changes?
Thumbs up from the city attorney.
I think he captured it.
Great. Thank you. Any other commissioner comments? Commissioner McMahon?
It's always nice to let Commissioner Ferris read all the words that are placed in front of us, so thank you for that. But I appreciate that you do that. All I can say is it's a place for the community to gather, and as I see on the letter here from Danielle, that it does not encroach on a residential area, and what could be bad about that, right? So I'm all for it.
Commissioner Kittlehut?
My office is in there, so I'm super excited about this.
So it's funny, my son went to school in Richmond, Virginia, and when I came out to visit him, of all the places that I could go for, the Continental Army and the Civil War, whatever, he brought me to a place just like this because it was his favorite place with all of his friends. Didn't care about the history, didn't care about all that stuff. He wanted to find some place to interact and have fun, and it was very similar in terms of strategically repurposing an area that was being used for something else. Here, as much as I love a huge parking lot for new cars, this is actually a great strategic repurposing that furthers a experience-based process that, again, considering what's happening to our malls and other things like that, I cannot think of a better concept here to try to take advantage of that opportunity. So thank you for a great idea. Thank you for investing in the city, and I wholeheartedly support the motion. So with that, prepare us for a vote.
Commissioner Ferris?
Yes.
Commissioner Tyler Kettlehut?
Yes?
Commissioner McMahon?
Yes.
Chair Lanson?
Yes.
And Vice Chair Link is absent. Motion carries 4-0.
As this is an appealable issue, I need to read the following. Any aggrieved party who wishes to appeal the Planning Commission's decision may do so by filing an appeal with the Community Development Department within 10 days. Thank you. I will go on to Department 8. There's no department reports. Department 8, Section 8. Section 9, Commissioner comments and 1234 reports. Comments, 1234 reports? No, I see none. 10, staff update. Ms. Melliker, are there any follow-up items, announcements, or upcoming issues?
Yes, on June 18th, there will be 3 consent items in the city council meeting. One will be for Los Angeles County Animal Care and Control Contract Services, Joint Exercise of Powers Agreement, an arborist and landscape architect consultant professional services agreement, and an on-call professional service agreement for on-call planning services. Following on July 2nd, there will be an item also on the consent agenda, and this will be for acquiring and disposition, so for purchases of an open space parcel by the city, and then subsequently transferring it to Casca for the Conejo Ridge Road north of Skyline Drive. Coming up on Planning Commission items, there will be on July 1st 2 public hearings. One will be for single-family residents with a mitigated negative declaration at 2948 Skelton Canyon Circle, and for a proposed wireless telecommunications facility within an existing church steeple with increased height at 1 West Avenida de los Arboles, and a consent calendar item, finding of general plan consistency for the purchase and transfer of the open space property in the Skyline open space area, which will be the item considered by City Council on July 1st. This will be for July 2nd. July 1st will be considered by Planning Commission, and then it will be followed by our summer break. And the next Planning Commission meeting will be on August 26th.
Great. I want to thank everybody for coming out today and those watching at home. And that will adjourn the Planning Commission meeting for today. The next one will be on July 1st at 6 o'clock p.m. Good night, Thousand Oaks.